So Daniel Marins, this sort of carrot and stick approach, do you think it works, and is it wise politics?
Well, David, I think at this point it is wise politics. I think that at this point the public understands that, sort of as the president said, whether you attribute it to sort of to human carbon emissions or not, and the overwhelming consensus is that that is the case. In fact, it's almost irrefutable. But even if you don't, do you want to take the chance? Do you want to take the chance with more of this kind of weather? In terms of the carrot and stick approach, I got to be honest, I think that in terms of the kinds of reductions on the kind of scale that we're going to be looking at in terms of transitioning to clean energy, to getting away from fossil fuels, regardless of whether we're emitting less than we were 4 years ago, because it's not enough, there's going to be a lot more sticks coming up in the future. And I don't see that the fossil fuel industry going quietly into the night. And right now it's natural gas replacing oil and in some cases coal. And that may be a good bridge fuel and a good temporary solution, but eventually we're going to be moving towards hydro, wind, solar in a way that, on a scale that probably will be more and more painful the longer we wait.
It's also painful, and the president made some note of this in the State of the Union, that to China, for example, China is buying up everything in sight related to clean energy. Now, the fact of the matter is the Chinese are also investing heavily in all kinds of other energy, including traditional oil, coal, gas, and whatnot. But it was an interesting argument to the president make the point that, well, regardless of whether you think that it's a wise idea, this is sort of the wave of the future, and we're losing this battle to the Chinese. And making it sort of a national security issue, I thought was clever. And maybe that's the way that you get the American people to start paying attention. A lot of Americans may not realize that, some of the wind turbines, they're not all made by General Electric these days. There are Chinese firms that are doing an admirable job when it comes to solar and when it comes to hydroelectricity. And the United States simply is not directing the same kind of resources into the technology research that the Chinese are. And as much of the world starts turning more and more towards these environmentally friendly energy resources, cleaner energy, do we want to lose out to the Chinese? I mean, no. I mean, obviously we don't. And so interesting sort of perspective, an interesting way that the president framed it in that sense. And I think it gets to an idea that, a lot of Americans are not so versatile or familiar with all the specifics of energy policy and oil and gas regulations and leases. But I think a lot of people can relate to the idea of, well, wait a second, shouldn't these businesses, if there's money to be made here, if there's a market, shouldn't the market essentially start in the United States? Shouldn't we be using American ingenuity to build the best products in the world? And the president getting to that point, I thought was a smart way to go about it, because I don't see how Americans are able to sort of coalesce behind the idea of climate change or making the necessary changes. But if you look at it from a business competitive standpoint, then maybe at that point, the administration has a chance. We're going to pause in about 30 seconds and take a break. But on the other side of this break, we've got some amazing commentary and perspective coming up on Marco Rubio. We're all familiar with Marco Rubio's State of the Union, the famous water sip heard around the world. Don't hate, hydrate, I say. Well, we'll take Action News after this.